This is Diana Sullivan, and I'm filming today in Gulf Shores, Alabama, where my husband and I are enjoying a first attempt at RVing. We weren't sure we'd really like RVing, so we bought a very small trailer that we can pull with our SUV. And today I'm going to do some machine knitting in my small trailer. Starting at the screen door inside the trailer and walking around to my right, there's a little wardrobe with a place for the TV above it and a radio. Door to the bathroom, it's tiny. The couch is in a slide out, and it has a long table, which was important for me, Dad, and it's sitting sideways to the RV, and there's a gas electric fridge, 3-burner stove with a little oven, double sink with a cover, and a microwave oven up here. Now I'm going to set up my knitting machine here on the table in front of the couch. The Brother 341 comes in this canvas carry bag. Maybe I should say came in this canvas carry bag. This one's been out of production a long time. Let's unzip and see what's inside. Here's the manual, some cardboard packing. Here is the carriage. I'll set it over to the side with the manual. This tube is actually a half-size knit leader. We have the mylar sheets. We have the little stitch scales. So I could easily knit garments on this machine. This is the accessory box. It's got a really nice sturdy plastic accessory box. And here's the machine itself, which I'm going to lift out of the case and set the case aside. I've got my machine on the table and the accessory case behind it. The first thing I want to do is open up the machine so that I have the whole 200 needles. This is a standard gauge machine, 4.5 millimeters from the center of one needle to the next. So any patterns that I have for a standard gauge machine ought to work just fine on this unit. So I'm going to bring this out a little bit, and right here in the center is a lever that locks it closed, and I'm going to press the lever down and over to the side. That unlocks it, and now look, these sides open out this way. So I open them all the way out until I have a long needle bed. That is just really different from the other portable machines I've seen. And this is a plastic needle bed. The machine is very lightweight. When the side is all the way out and moved back flush, and I have my straight line, then this bar right here is pushed back, and that locks it in the straight line. Over on the other side, I have another bar like that I push back, and now this is rigidly in a straight line. The clamps for this machine, to clamp it to the table, and aren't I lucky, or wasn't it deliberate, that I chose an RV that had a table that would accommodate a little knitting machine? Anyway, these clamps are built in to the bottom of the machine. I just swing them out, and there is the clamp on one side. Here is the clamp on the other side. And I can just clamp to the table now. I'm going to tighten them both because I want the machine to be secure. The row counter for the machine is located right here at the center back. And the tap, the trigger for the row counter, is really close to 0, which is nice because it's going to be easy almost all the time to trip the row counter. The carriage goes across, and when it trips the row counter, these numbers advance. To set the row counter to 0, you just push this button. This circle right here is the centimeters, and here are the millimeters if you are using the knit leader that comes with the machine. The machine also comes with a nice little toolkit that holds a couple of weights. I've got a couple more weights in the box, spare needles, the brush, and the typical hand tools. The machine also has this pencil cup-like accessory that has a slot right here. That slot can be put over that lever that locked the machine in place. Also in the box, I have these little plastic mylar sheet guides for the knit leader. I'm not using the knit leader just now, but I'll put those back in the box. And the next thing to do is put the carriage on. You also need to remove these gate peg guides before you can start knitting. Just have to kind of get your fingernails under them, and they snap up and off of the machine. There's a long one for the center portion, and then 2 short ones for the ends. And now the carriage is almost set up. I also have a take-up spring, and here it is. I just put it in either this hole in the back of the carriage, or I can put it in that hole in the back of the carriage. So snap that in, and I've got the machine set up. I brought some cone yarn with me, and I'm putting it on the floor directly under this little eyelet on the end here. And now I'm threading the eyelet. I'm just going to go in and around so that the yarn goes directly through that hole on the eyelet. That's the first step to threading. The second step is to come up and go through the take-up spring loop right there, just like that. And then put the yarn right in the middle of the opening in the front of the carriage and snap it all the way back. And I like to use a very light clothespin to hold the end of the yarn down. I take the front part of the yarn, which is coming from the loop on my right, up to the take-up spring. I bring it down and hold it against this little carriage and feed it in under this plastic part right here, and snap it behind this bit of wire, just like that. It's essential that this be threaded exactly the way the instructions say. So you have to get under this black part, through this hole, and then snap it down so that it's behind the little bit of metal. The carriage is on part, this slide lever is on in, not H, and the carriage is threaded properly. I've gone with my needle pusher, and I've brought every other needle out all the way to E position, which is fully extended, and I knit slowly from right to left. And you can see it put yarn in every other needle. Now I'm going to get yarn into the needles I didn't pick. So I'm going to choose those needles and bring them out all the way into E position. Now with the machine set in part, the only needles that'll go on this row are the ones that are extended. So now I knit slowly in the other direction. I've done my second row. Now once again, I bring out the end needle out of my group all the way to part, plus every other needle on across. And guess what? I'm going to knit back 4 passes like this makes a cast on. So the other needles this time and back. I open a claw weight and put it on the end of the knitting. Just catch that yarn. and open another claw weight and put it on the other end of the knitting. Now I need to change the carriage for plain knitting. Just move this outer wheel so that it points at plain. The feet on this machine is a little different, so I do not rush. I'm just going to approach and knit slowly. When it pops at the end of the row, that's where I stop pushing. You don't want to go too far past the end or you will get end loops.